Creative inspiration. Where do new ideas arise? The human body has a mind capable of imagination. Genealogy is a study of the origin of the universe and of what was before the universe. Such creative thought is of the spiritual axis of our human being, enabling us to detach ourselves from the solely material deliberations such as might a rock have being weathered away upon an ocean beach, to model an infinite number of ontological restructurings in which different beaches, different oceans, some made of jello, and abstract structures of all possible worlds might be figured as creative ontologies composed of every experienced element and prior idea encountered. With that being said, let's move right on to the source of everything. Everything includes ideas, and especially creative ideas. In mind, every idea seems to have a correlated organic basis for existence. The complexity of the RNA receptor interchanges of molecules and neural networks to exchange meaningful components is marvelous. One must wonder at the overall intentionality that allows the guidance of thought formation responsive to the ordered will. Yes, we may intake scientific magazine photos and articles from a variety of sources and add that new information into the brilliantly well-designed human brain. The mind may sort through all of the data and summon the correct synthetic new idea upon demand of the will. It is like when one forgets a new idea, not having written it down, recalls that one had the idea, but it slipped away, and so asks of the mind that it recover the lost data. In a few minutes or a half an hour, the lost idea probably will reappear of its own. The process of the overall responsiveness of the complex neural biochemistry to the will to think is incredibly wonderful. It is still shrouded in a mystery as great as that of the organizing principle of that lets human zygotes differentiate upon organic growth in the right proportions and locations, or more so. All of this thought about experience occurs in a phenomenal universe. It has a cosmological depth challenging to the mind. Cosmology is the study of the status, history, future, and origin of the universe. Remember that those who forget or don't know the future are doomed to repeat it, and those who don't know the past may have no idea where they or the universe came from. Pre-Big Bang theory developed from string theory and the entire multidimensional way of making matrices representational of dimensions. We like to think that God has a lot to do with that too. Recently I read a book named Why Beauty is Truth, rather to my profit. It is a history of math's algebra development from ancient Babylon through to Omar Khayyam and the Norwegian Abel Lie, killing Gauss, Einstein, Witten, and others that found set and group theory interesting. One can imagine two-dimensional grid coordinates, three-dimensional, and even four math representations can go up to 256 dimensions, I believe I remember reading. Analytic synthetic judgment distinctions aside, the realms of absolute spirit may be proprietary under God, yet for us mortals, realms of relativistic spirit seem distinguishable from matter at least by virtue of their quality as being non-deterministic rather than materially determined. Human abstract thought and symbolic logical thinking at least may construct ontologies or universe sets with particular self-consistent elements able to model in some respects the known functions of the external or material world universe. So we have the question, did God make everything, and certain logical and spiritual tools to work with to answer that question. Linguistic or language lexical toolkits are also available through which we may receive words and ideas composed by other people in other areas. The indeterminacy of translation presents in the translation of Bible words and ideas to us moderns, especially when we try to get too technical about physics values. I read another good book, Cosmic Codes, that provides some of the ways that a few researchers have approached finding hidden meanings in the Bible. It's actually worth reading. If we want to consider how God created the universe, or how we should consider the data in Genesis regarding its creation in order to correlate it with various scientific paradigms today, we have an interesting task. I won't egress into that topic here, yet will return to the idea of the pre-Big Bang theory. Gasparini wrote a good book on string pre-Big Bang theory in 2008. He explains some of the phenomena such as perturbative vacuum that might exist before universe inflationary periods and Big Bangs. Briefly, the perturbative vacuum before time t equals 0 has a quantum foam of virtual particles appearing and disappearing that might in enough time occur such as to form a gravity mass concentration enough to form a black hole. The black hole narrows down to a bottleneck, and another point of view seen to be a singularity. That singularity is a white hole expanding into a universe such as ours from the opposite side of the black hole. Necessarily, this is my interpretation of the information that was presented then in The Universe Before the Big Bang, Gasparini's book, titled such. The pre-Big Bang theory tends to stipulate that an infinite number of universes may have emerged over time from quantum foam with varying degrees of success. What I liked about the pre-Big Bang theory is the concept that the best scientific ideas of cosmology would not be able to postulate a first cause of everything, but would only regress into some stipulated axiomatic eternally existing vacuum with quantum energy appearing within it. Something from nothing. Creation instead of being from a singular point would be from an unlimited field of quantum virtual points with perhaps some particular field values that prevent them from appearing all at once and canceling themselves out, or appearing as the mega black hole, ultimately white hole expansion, an ultimate white hole expansion. I will offer an idea for what the virtual particle field for the pre-Big Bang theory alternatively could be, sparing you of reading the tedious mathematical details I could not invent anyway. The unified field of the perturbative vacuum has just one membrane that has varying local field values corresponding to a given word of God. Wherever the unified field varies its topology in accordance with the word frequencies, virtual particles appear as overlapping extra-dimensional concentrations of force. They disappear and reappear in relation to the word traveling through. That process can compile into any particular structural phenomena inclusive of that with quarks and human life in a given universe. Creative thought opportunities and math group theory built up over millennia of research and thought. Each generation, new mathematicians and scientists could take up the database their predecessors had given. Spiritual insights of the universe God has made also afford creative dimensions for constructing more ideas and structures.